turned by the continuous downward pull of this weight, these gears mark seconds one by one. Similarly, electricity is used by this digital circuit to make discrete bits. In either case, there is a fixed function that converts the input of energy into ticks of a clock or bits. These are very useful mechanisms, but are these purely functional mechanisms the only possible form of computation? I'm Augustus Bacigalupi with Institute for Augmenting Minds, and we will show that the brain's ability to self-organize demonstrates a novel type of computation that is in addition to our familiar machines, like clocks and computers. This video describes a very common and natural phenomenon called superposition, which makes self-organizing systems such as cognition possible. The next video in this series will show how superposition explains self-organizing systems. Superposition is as simple as ripples on water or notes we hear in music. Waves of energy are formed by drops on a pond or a viola's vibrating string that shapes the air. The energy from these events form waves in a medium. These waves form a single integrated pattern that represents not just the individual events, but the relationships between them simultaneously. Neurons, as all cells, have evolved to respond to numerous and varied environmental conditions. Note that the firing of the middle neuron progressively synchronizes with surrounding cells. Its behavior is influenced by both the synaptic inputs and the local superimposed field simultaneously. Functional systems like digital computers are different because they don't exhibit superposition. Each functional part, whether a series of gears or transistors, is fixed in its behavior. These functional elements are specifically designed not to be sensitive to their surroundings. Imagine a group of musicians. Each musician plays the necessary notes, but how and when they play them is also influenced by the integrated pattern in the air around them. This musical interference pattern is truly greater than the sum of its parts, because it is both the individual notes played and the integrated relationships between them simultaneously. Each musician's behavior contributes to this pattern and is a result of it. A similar phenomenon is waves on a seashore. These water waves pound the sand to mold the undersea topography, but this sandscape also modifies the wave behavior above, each molding the other. Water molecules carry wave energy that molds the sand. At the same time, this sand modifies the behavior of the water, each molding the other through physical forces of nature. Musicians and neurons are like the sand, as their behavior is molded by the wave patterns that they themselves influence, matter and energy molding each other. Neurons increase their collective order by growing along these persistent patterns. Once made, the neuron has both hard connections like functional computing and the collective pattern. This pattern continuously reorganizes each element's connectivity to increase the organism's internal order and relevance to its environment. This is adaptation and learning by the system itself. This is self-organization. The next video will further illustrate how these superimposed patterns make self-organizing systems such as cognition possible. It will also introduce how functional and self-organizing computation can be integrated into one powerful and useful hybrid technology. For more information and the next video, please visit i4am.org.